I know you're busy, but I also know that you would love to launch your own coaching business in the year ahead, or else you wouldn't have clicked on this video. So if you would love to know how to carve out the time to kickstart your coaching business this year, then stay tuned because that is exactly what I'm going to be diving into in this video. The truth is, it's a mix of getting your mindset right and nailing down some practical moves. And I'm going to talk about both of those elements in this video. Here's the deal. There has never been a better time to get into coaching. The demand is higher than ever, and it's just going to keep getting higher as coaching continues to become mainstream and as people are looking for guidance and someone to help them to achieve their goals. So if you're ready to uncover the secrets to finding the time to launch a coaching business this year, then let's dive in together and get you on track with everything that you need to make this actually happen. Now, if you tuned into my YouTube channel before, then welcome back. For those of you who are new around here, I'm Dr. Kim Foster, and I'm an MD turned coach and wellness expert. I was a family doctor for 2 decades before making the leap to focus entirely on my wellness business. And I'm also the founder of the Wellness Coach Academy, which is dedicated to training aspiring wellness coaches and helping them to build their businesses. On this channel, I cover topics ranging from wellness to business and sharing tips to help you master the art of living well. So if that sounds like your jam, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new videos. Now let's talk about how to find the time to launch your own coaching business. The first thing I want to address is the mindset element, because honestly, if you don't start here, none of my other tips are going to help you. A little later in this video, I have got 8 different super practical tips to give you about how to find the time for your business. But without the right way of thinking about things, you won't be able to properly follow through with any of them. The mind is a powerful ally or a formidable foe, and one of the best ways to make sure that your mind is acting as your ally is to work on your limiting beliefs about time. Limiting beliefs will whisper doubts in your ear and undermine everything that you are trying to do. So here are some examples. I don't have enough time. This is the belief that there is simply not enough time to accomplish everything on the to-do list, which leads to procrastination or just a sense of overwhelm. And if you have this belief, I know you are sitting there right now thinking, that's not just a belief, Kim, that is just straight up fact. But I'm here to tell you, it's not. And I know that that might be hard to believe. Trust me, I held this belief for a long time. And in fact, I find myself still slipping into it sometimes, and I have to actively work on noticing that when I'm starting to spiral into that story about there isn't enough time. But I want you to try to reframe this thought, because for one thing, it's not actually helping you. It only makes you feel like a victim. Instead, reframe with a more empowering thought, like I prioritize what matters. So when you reframe your perspective by acknowledging that yes, time is finite, but you can choose to prioritize tasks based on their importance and impact. That part is up to you. Another limiting belief that I hear all the time is, I'm not good at time management, which is a self-limiting belief about the lack of ability to manage time, which of course is just going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, shift from I'm not good at time management to I'm learning and improving, or something like that. This will help you to embrace a growth mindset and acknowledge that time management is a skill that can be developed with practice and learning. Or how about this limiting belief? I have to do that. In other words, I can't say no. When you feel busy and that there are so many things that you have to do that you can't say no to, this leaves you with no time to work on your other projects. But the truth is, there are very few things that you absolutely have to do. If you think about it for a second, you'll realize that this is true. Even things like going to work and paying your taxes, you don't actually have to do those things. You could decide that you're not going to do them. I am not saying that there won't be consequences. There definitely will be. But if you decide that those consequences are worth it, then you can do whatever you want. So if things like that are in fact optional, that means that everything is optional, which should feel very liberating. From there, you can decide what you're going to do and how you're going to use your time. So when you hear yourself saying, I have to do this, I want you to question that belief and ask yourself, is that actually true? And I think you'll find that you just might be able to remove a few things from your schedule and open up a few wedges of time. Here's an example from one of my students. So Emily was a really passionate wellness coach, but she found herself constantly overwhelmed with requests for her time. And this was mostly because she found it difficult to say no. And this led to an overloaded schedule. She often found herself sacrificing personal time and self-care, which left her feeling drained and just unable to help her clients. So we discussed this on one of our calls, and when she realized the toll that this was taking on her well-being, we worked on reframing Emily's mindset. So instead of feeling obligated to say yes to every request, she started viewing setting boundaries as a source of empowerment. By politely declining commitments that just really didn't align with her priorities, Emily started to gain much more control over her schedule. As she got better at saying no, this allowed her to focus on high priority tasks and deliver better results to her clients and maintain a healthier work-life balance. Setting boundaries became a key element of her success, and it empowered her to thrive in her coaching business and her personal life. Okay, so now that we've talked about the importance of your mindset, let's get into some practical steps for time management. The first one is to conduct a time audit. Before you can begin to master time, you need to understand how you're spending it. So conduct a time audit to dissect your routine. From there, you'll be able to identify time-wasting activities that just do not align with your goals, and then find opportunities for improvement. There are all kinds of ways that you can practice creative time management once you know where your time is actually going. So you might try reallocating chunks from your daily routine, perhaps waking up 30 minutes earlier for focused business planning, or using your lunch break for skill development. For instance, one of my students, a working mother, she discovered that delegating household chores to her family freed up valuable evening hours for client sessions. Another student identified her daily commute as a great time for listening to business podcasts, which transformed those unproductive hours into learning sessions. Even small adjustments like reducing social media scrolling by 15 minutes a day can accumulate into significant time for business development. The key lies in identifying those pockets of time in your routine and repurposing them with intentionality. My second tip is to use the 5 to 9. Harnessing the potential of your 5 to 9 time, those precious before work or after work hours, can be a game changer in achieving your goals. While the 9 to 5 grind may occupy the bulk of your day, the 5 to 9 period is often an open canvas where you own your own schedule. These hours can present an opportunity for focused and intentional efforts. It can be a dedicated window where you have the autonomy to further your business and take big steps forward to achieving your goals. My third tip is to prioritize using the Eisenhower matrix. Okay, if you haven't heard of the Eisenhower matrix, this is going to be a game changer for you. This is your tool for task triage. It's like your personal air traffic controller for daily tasks. It categorizes your to-dos into 4 quadrants and revolutionizes your approach to productivity. So picture a 2x2 table with 4 quadrants. Urgent and important is quadrant 1. These are high-stakes tasks which demand immediate attention. So think client emergencies and impending deadlines, non-negotiables that require swift action. Not urgent, but important is quadrant 2. This is your sweet spot for proactive productivity. Strategic planning and skill development and relationship building all live here, tasks that contribute to long-term goals. Urgent but not important is quadrant 3, the distractions, tasks that feel urgent but offer little long-term value. You want to set boundaries to minimize these tasks, things like interruptions from constant emails and calls. Not urgent and not important, quadrant 4 is the Bermuda Triangle of productivity. This is time-wasting activities like mindless scrolling and unproductive meetings belong here. So how do you master the matrix? Well, thinking about quadrant 1, you want to tackle urgent and important tasks. So address priorities at the start of your day. Managing crises with efficiency lays a solid foundation for a productive day. From there, quadrant 2 is all about investing in the important. Here you want to dedicate focused time to building your coaching business foundations. Spending time on strategic planning and client development and personal growth will, in the long run, reduce the urgency of other tasks. With those tasks that fall into quadrant 3, try to minimize distractions masquerading as urgent. Guard your time protectively against activities that offer little value. With tasks that fall into quadrant 4, you want to work to cut out these time-draining activities as much as possible. Eliminate or reduce tasks that contribute nothing to your coaching business goals. One of my students is a great example of this. She was really excited to build her business, but also had a penchant for social media. Initially, her days were just plagued by the constant buzz of notifications, which pulled her into quadrant 3, tasks that felt urgent but weren't truly important. When she recognized the drain on her time and focus, she decided to limit her social media check-ins to specific times, creating a boundary between her business and distractions. This shift allowed her to transition from quadrant 3 chaos to quadrant 2 mastery, investing time in strategic planning and client development, and ultimately propelling her coaching business forward. And that brings me to my third tip for mastering time, and that is saying no. Learning to say no is a key skill for finding the time to launch a business. It allows you to prioritize essential tasks and focus on core activities and prevent overcommitment, which safeguards your time for activities that have a lot more impact. When you learn to say no, you increase productivity and create a more intentional approach to launching your business. Saying no isn't just about declining, it's about making strategic choices that align with your goals. That ensures that every moment contributes meaning to your business success. As Warren Buffett said, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. All right, let's talk about creating a structured schedule. Chaos thrives in a disorganized schedule. I want you to allocate dedicated time for business development and client sessions and personal life. A well-structured schedule not only maximizes productivity, but also helps maintain a healthy work-life balance. So my final tip is to create a structured schedule. I want you to consider breaking your day into dedicated time blocks and assigning each block a specific purpose. For instance, one of my students with a full-time job carved out her early mornings for business planning and client outreach well before her workday began. Many of my students establish theme days, focusing on marketing Mondays, client sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and admin tasks on Wednesdays. Structured time blocks like this will not only enhance your productivity, but also create mental clarity by signaling what's on the agenda. So, as we wrap up this exploration of finding the time to launch a coaching business in the year ahead, remember, it is not just about finding the time, it's about making the time count. And don't forget that the mindset that you bring to this journey is your compass, which guides you through the challenges ahead. Now, if you want to start on a transformative journey towards your dream career as a wellness coach, I would love to invite you to watch our free workshop, How to Chart a Path to Your Dream Career as a Wellness Coach, the 3 secrets for stepping into a meaningful new career without wasting time or money. In this presentation, you will discover the essential insights and strategies that can fast track your transition into a fulfilling and impactful career. Save your spot now and unlock those secrets to building a successful and meaningful career in the wellness coaching industry. As always, I would love to hear from you. What is your best time management tip? How do you find the time for the projects that are important to you, like building a business? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's a wrap for this video. Take care, have an amazing day, and I will see you again very soon.